Hi, I'm Lori Cristofero, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction here at Lockport Township High School. And I'm here today to talk to you about our remote learning plan. This is something that we did work on this summer. We did a lot of work with hybrid, but we also planned for what if we have to shift and go to remote learning. And so we did a lot to get ready this summer for this learning transition that we now are going to be executing. We really learned 4 things from our spring semester experience of remote learning. First was routines and schedules matter. The second was personal relationships are really important. The third was we need to make sure we have supports in place for students. And lastly, assessments or grading practices are important. Each day, students have 3 to 4 periods, but we made longer periods for a variety of reasons. One, it sets up a framework for teachers to have time to develop those personal relationships in this new space, online, video messaging, video conferencing with one another. Also, it allows teachers to fully utilize some of the best technologies that they learned about last spring and continue to learn some of these new technologies this summer. For example, teachers might want to use an Edpuzzle when they're working with students. An Edpuzzle is a feature where students have progress monitoring checks while they're within the confines of what the teacher's asking them to do online, whether it's reading or watching something. Teachers might use an app like Kahoot. Kahoot is like a gamification to check for student progress monitoring. But most importantly, we know that our students become very successful when they can function in small group work. And so we've created space and time for teachers to facilitate our video conferencing tool, Google Meet, where they can have students break out into small groups within the Google Meet. So we had to create time for that. Also, there has been research out there about the impact on students' emotional well-being and all humans' emotional well-being when they are on video conferencing platforms all day, frequently referred to as Zoom fatigue. And so we really wanted to be conscious of that. So unlike our experience in the spring, students now will be doing live learning all 5 days a week, but they're meeting with each teacher or each class 3 days a week. So Monday and Thursday, they meet with teachers period 1 through 4, and Tuesday and Friday, they meet with periods 5 through 7 for our sophomores through senior, and 5 through 8 for our freshmen. On Wednesday, they have a shortened day where they go to each class for about 25 minutes for a connection, personal connection, a check on their learning, progress monitoring during that time. So they run through their whole school day on Wednesday. So one question we're hearing from some parents in the community is, why are the Wednesdays shorter? Well, one of the key things that we learned through the spring is the power of teacher collaboration. As teachers work to narrow the focus of what they're teaching, we want to make sure that teachers are teaching the same thing through course-wide. So if you have me for U.S. history, or you have another teacher for U.S. history, those essential standards are the same. But also as they're learning more and more about how to use technology to engage students, they can work together on that. And then also as they look at student data to determine opportunities for reassessment. Again, that opportunity to redo something, do some corrections, or resubmit something. So that time is really vital for our teachers to produce the best opportunity for student achievement in remote learning. So one of the things we did learn from the spring was that we needed to make sure we had academic supports in place for students. So that meant having a little bit longer time when we're doing video conferencing as our main platform for learning. And this extra time gives teachers time to adjust in the fly to make sure that they are meeting the needs of the students at that moment. So if there's something the students didn't understand, the teachers can address it at that moment. Also, we've put in place our remote learning connection time. This occurs on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and it provides an avenue where students can connect with teachers. So if there's something that they didn't understand and they weren't in class on that day, they can certainly send the teacher an email. Teachers could choose to use that time to connect with students one-on-one or small groups of students. Teachers might also choose to meet with some of their teacher teams to make adjustments or shifts in their instructional plan to make sure they're helping all students with their achievement. We also will have in place our kitchen table tutoring. It will occur remotely. And if students feel like they need tutoring after contacting their teacher, attending any other additional interventions and supports we would have from that 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock hour, you can reach out to the counselor to sign your student up for the kitchen table where our teachers will be providing tutoring. So another support we have in place for students, you'll see on the school schedule, is from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And this is for a time when we can bring a group of students in to get some additional help. For example, if the Integrated Math 1 team sees that some students had trouble with a similar concept, they could bring a larger group of students into that meeting time to reteach that standard in order to ensure that students learn. So the last point from the spring that I want to talk to you about today was about assessment or grading. So assessment is the word we use when we monitor students' level of knowledge or skill in a particular content area. So I want to just make sure you know that grades do matter. And so we will focus on more of mastery learning. So you might see fewer grades in the grade book, but those grades matter. So look for opportunities when a teacher might tell your student or you through their notation in a grade book, like this assignment was really important and you need to make sure you get it done. Or they might notate in the grade book, here's an opportunity for a reassessment, meaning you can retake this, you can do some corrections, you might redo the assignment in a different way. But that is a focus that our teachers are working on and discussing in their teacher teams. And as always, the teachers will communicate to students when those opportunities are available. So while we've created a schedule to help set up routines, we need your help with routines at home. First, it's important for students to still get up at a reasonable time so they can be awake, alert, and ready to go for the first class of the day. It's important that they eat breakfast to get their brain going. And it's also important that students have a clear location where they're going to be doing their work at home with the materials they need around them, that the Chromebook is set up, ready to go, and that when students struggle, their first line of defense should be to reach out and contact the teacher. So our end goal through all of our work and planning over the summer and as we continue on into the school year is to provide the highest quality education for our students. We know this is a challenging time for our students and we're trying to learn from our past experience to provide the best that we can in terms of academics as well as the emotional well-being of students in remote learning. Overwhelmingly, we want to see all of our students achieve so that when they leave LTHS, all the doors of opportunity are open.